Do you know what I mean? So that third scenario may be that you had a very unhealthy codependent relationship with that friend, that people again would almost perceive you as a couple. So maybe your friendship was very hermetic, maybe it was very there was jealousy, almost like you wouldn't ever allow, like you had your own language, like you would never allow anyone from the outside to interfere in your interactions oftentimes. Oh, despite the fact that again, this is nothing on a physical level, but again, sometimes people who are very lonely, who struggle with codependency, sometimes they develop friendships that sort of fill out the gap for the needs that we should provide for ourselves or get from a deeper romantical relationship. It was coming to my mind. So one of these three things. Let's see what else. But it may be a big change, someone who is such a big part of your life, but this is part of growth. And I love highlighting this for you guys, because oftentimes you ask me really talking a lot about soul connections, soul ties, how do we recognize, how do we differentiate? You often ask me, how do I know that someone is my soulmate? Whether that's a romantical relationship or friendship. And I love highlighting to you guys that when we grow, this is where we really see our soulmates. Because even if you are this person, let's say you have this big spiritual awakening, you start to grow and transform, people who are your soulmates in your life, they might not fully catch up with you, right? You're going to create that difference because it may not be relevant. Specific type of growth may not be relevant to them, but they will always be inspired. They will always understand you. They will always listen, and they will always follow. And you will be with our soulmates. We are sort of an initiation for mutual growth. We grow together. There's always a mutual learning. So I'm learning something from you and you're learning something from me. Sometimes it's unspoken. Sometimes, especially in a specific, cultures, conditioning, people sometimes don't say it out loud. Oh my God, I've learned so much from you. But it's sort of this unspoken thing that we see how people are changing as per our aligned path, and that we are also learning from them. And that's always an indication that someone is a soulmate. As we grow, they will in some shape or form always follow. And if someone is left behind, we have to accept that either there are karmic relationship. Again, I teach you guys this always, that karmic relationships are not all evil and bad, but they're either karmic relationship or a lower soulmate who just didn't manage to learn all the lessons. Imagine it's a little bit like in school. Imagine that you go on a difficult course and you're on a level 1 and you're with your best friend in there, right? And you're both learning and growing, but then before the exam, you are more dedicated to learn, to prepare for that exam. And this person, I don't know, they get lazy, they want to go on a party, and then they fail. So what would be the right course of action? To repeat for the second and third, maybe fourth time, that class with this person because you don't want to abandon them? Or follow your own pace? When you're truly connected to someone, again, on a level of a soul, you'll always be connected. You can always every now and then see how they're doing, but you cannot drag them with you when they're not learning and they're not wanting. You cannot slow your own progress because you're showing disrespect towards yourself, towards your guides, towards your path, towards your life. Right? If it's a true soulmate, your dedication to this course, to the learning, would motivate them. And instead of being like showing this attitude, no, whatever, I'm tired, I want to go to a party, I want to go to sleep, they would be like, oh my God, I want to make sure that I'm passed, show me, help me, right? And you would learn together and you would still progress together. Do you understand? Breakup, separation, X. Breakup, separation, stopping the pattern. I think whether you know it or not, there is an important pattern that you're going to break with breaking this relationship, with breaking this friendship. And I wouldn't be surprised if that pattern is codependency. Maybe you struggle. Maybe it's coming to my mind as well. Maybe you struggle with how you end relationships. Maybe you struggle with really that final communication or that final decision. Or maybe you're one of those people that you thought this through. You went into your hermit, you've taken a decision, you've heard the signs, and then you wanted to have a conversation with that person to say that it's like you no longer resonate with most of the things that they're doing. So maybe you could be part of each other's lives, but not on a daily basis. But then they said something, and it's like they lured you in with whatever kind of a talk that is. Oh, we've been friends for so long, or right, whatever. And you fall back into the codependency. I keep looking at this statement, manifest exactly what you want. What you want in your life is not represented in that friend anymore, in that person anymore. Snake. I don't think that this person is actually a snake person, to be honest. But they're showing me right now that they may be connected because you grew, you transform, you've developed more ability to cut things that don't resonate with you anymore and where you're going in your growth. But this person, I don't think that they did that as well. So it may be that they have a lot of snake people in their life, and through them, you're connecting to this energy. Maybe they struggle to develop really meaningful, deep relationships. Maybe it's that partner that we mentioned. There's one more thing that's coming to my mind that I want to share with you guys. Maybe significant love. I think I feel that there are patterns in love and romantic relationships that you managed to break on your journey of growth. Whether this person, no, they're repeating the patterns. They settling, they're repeating the patterns, they constantly attracting the same partners, and they don't even see it, they don't even want to listen. And sorry, I'm blocking. What was coming to my mind to say to you guys, if you think that your friends are your soulmates, and then you're meeting someone that you think that they're your higher soulmate or your destined partner, your true soul connection, and these people don't like each other, something is off. Either it's not the right partner or not the right friend. Your destined partner will always be as well. If it's your soul family on both ends, naturally they as well are a soul family. So they might not be best buddies because they may have different, interests, but on a level of conversation, of energy, of values, they will always resonate. They will like each other, respect each other, right? If you believe that your friend is your soulmate and then she's not or he's not, really in alignment with your partner, something is off. It's a big indication. But I feel, again, there's been codependency between the two of you, but there's been codependency pattern within all your relationships. But you, through your growth, you managed to break that. And I feel this person is your residual codependency that you're being asked to break, simply because they have not broken it at all. It's like they're not learning their lessons at all. Reminiscing. I want to do another row. So maybe you have been looking at old photos, soulmates. Maybe you think this person is your soulmate. There's a reason I've been explaining so much about soulmates in this reading. I've been talking about, misalignment and soulmates. The fact that someone is your soulmate doesn't mean that you're doomed and destined to be each other. Sometimes soulmates, our agreement and soul agreement with certain soulmates, friends, are for a chapter. We're going to be, for example, best friends in childhood, or in a moment of most difficult journey, we're going to be best friends. But then again, it's a choice. It's the choices that we take. If you're growing, beautifully and incredibly, and this person is refusing to learn their patterns, you're going to get misaligned. You would believe that, and you would think about maybe memories spent together recently a lot. Heart with a key. I think there's something about love in here. I feel there was a lot of lessons for both of you in your past years when it comes to love, romantical love, giving your heart to someone, opening your heart, and you've learned those lessons very differently. I feel this person struggles more than they know with codependency. They're not seeing when things are ending. They're not seeing when someone is a snake person. They make things fit even if they don't. And it's all good. It's all fine. We all have our own path. We all have our own pace. And sometimes, again, I love highlighting this to you guys. It's a healer wound. When we are growing at a certain pace and people are being left behind and we feel like we could help them, we could say certain things to them so they can follow along, so they can grow as well, so they can learn as well. If we force this on them, it's a healer wound. True person who is healed and balanced, who becomes a healer themselves and heal the healer wound, we only help people that come to us. We never force our ways, our beliefs on others. We may, give advice and suggestions to friends, but if someone is resistant, we move away. You cannot save someone forcefully, nor it is your job. It's actually taking away their freedom. Because it's similarly like with the tower moment and with the universe, we should learn our lessons on our own. It's a process of learning that we come here on this earth as spirits for. It's a satisfaction of I learned it on my own. No one forced me. No one, chained me to something that is better for myself. I've actually learned this. I chose this. It's a game of choice, right? We have the golden mirror, one-sided relationships, love bombing, narcissists. So, sorry. It would be a confirmation that this is because we're talking about a pattern of this person. So this person would be someone who goes from a 0 to 100, love bombs someone, meets someone, and in 3-4 months they're the love of their life. Maybe they do attract narcissists into their life. Maybe they had some people with narcissistic traits that they never learned the lessons. There's not a full flow of reciprocity on all levels in their relationships. One more. Cupid's arrow. Hesitation. Maybe you even had a conversation about all these things with this person over coffee. I feel there's still hesitation with you, but with this Cupid's arrow, I feel again that you've learned a lot about love. Looking back, not just on your relationship with this person, but you would know, you would understand this collective, you would understand codependency, you would understand why it is not good, why it never serves a healthy relationship to be codependent on someone. We lose our sense of self when we are codependent. And when we lose our sense of self and external things can shake our sense of selves, we can never form a true healthy relationship. How can you? You become just this one blended, confused mush with this other person. Nobody knows who they are. It's what I love highlighting to you guys. Beautiful soul relationships is two alone wolves. Two sovereign, independent beings that vibrate on a frequency of freedom, peace, love, light, and they choose to exist alongside of each other, to inspire each other, to guide each other, to comfort each other. They are extension of each other, but there's a difference between you are my extension of my sovereignty and my essence and my frequency, in comparison to we become one blended mush, okay? And that happens always when we're codependent. Okay, let's do some shadow work for you, although I think we know what we need to break here, but let's do it. There's a reason I pulled 2 more oracles. I feel like we're going to need this booklet, but let's see. Let's do 4 of these. What is it that you need to sort of focus on? And then we do tarot on top. Give us 4. Scorpio. Whale, shark, yeah, strong water energy, and with that Scorpio as well. This is fire in this deck, but Scorpio represents water, and it's also sometimes difficulty with going deeper and connecting to your emotions. So, peacock. Phoenix. So there is a transformation ongoing. I do want to grab that booklet. Sorry, I'm sort of struggling. I've been doing like new workout for my back and my shoulders because I've been so tense recently, and now I'm like, you know, like in the beginning when you start, it's a little harder first. Anywho, sorry, deviation. We have that Scorpio. I wanted to find a Scorpio. I was only guided to read for that Scorpio, so bear with me. There it is. Jealous, resentful, unresolved issues. Remember, it's coming to my mind. Remember when we said that you had a bit of an unhealthy dynamics with this friend, with this person? Maybe without you knowing, you still there is a little bit jealousy. Examine it. You know that when we do shadow work, when we do healing, we have to be open-minded for any kind of incoming emotion. Really understand it, right? Really be in line with it. So examine it. Passionate, there was passion as well. Competitive tends towards isolation. Maybe we had avoidance, we had isolation, and in these cards, I didn't mention it, but one of them said silent treatment, and I was looking at it. So maybe there is a behavioral pattern within you that when you don't know how to deal with certain things, you maybe know more, but maybe in the past you could give people silent treatment, go into isolation, isolate yourself from self as well, from your emotions, from the truth of situation. The Scorpio is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them as they are a few select friends. Here's the thing. It may be that this is stopping you. It may be that maybe all your life you saw yourself as a person who these extroverts that, I mean, extroversy isn't really about the amount of friends, but this is how people understand it. It's an introvert, extrovert, it's about energy flow, right? But some people understand it that way. Some people are like, have gazillions of friends and, you know, they know the half of the town, right? And maybe you've always been that person that cherished more intimate relationships, prefer to have 1 or 2 close friends. This is maybe why you are questioning your decision, you're questioning your understanding of loyalty, you're afraid that you're gonna, by removing this person from your life, you're gonna break that vow of loyalty. Maybe even at one point, there's a reason vow came to my mind, you said that you would be there for each other, always. And maybe there's also this fear that if you drop this friend, maybe this person is currently one of the closest friends you have, or, you know, one real friend that you consider a real friend. But remember what I said, you know, journey of alignment, journey of healing. I love highlighting this to you guys because you often, comment, and when I make suggestions, you say it's not easy. But honey, no one said it would be. Alignment is for the strongest warriors, for the oldest souls. No one said it would be easy. No one said that we just pray and manifest for a few months and we're going to get the love of all our lifetimes and an abundant lifetime. We have to learn to embody these frequencies. We have to learn to say no. And I think this is your lesson. To say no to things that don't resonate, no matter how painful it is. No matter how much you know. And we should never cause pain with an intention to another person. But sometimes when we choose alignment and someone is not mature enough spiritually to understand that choice, it may be pain for them. But again, we learn here on this channel, however hard it is for certain people to understand, but this collective, you would be on a high enough level to understand, we choose to be in pain. If someone walks away from our life and we love this person, we feel this person is our soulmate, we want this person in our life, they're important to us. If they choose to leave, spiritually and emotionally mature person understands that choice, understands that sometimes certain chapter close, has faith that if it's really meant for me, it will circle back. And we feel and we remove the pain. If you choose to be in resentment, in pain for an extended period of time, it is your choice. You will not bury the weight and the blame for their pain if you choose to move away from them from the sake of your alignment. You will choose you. As our fruit selected friends, sometimes the Scorpio heat fasters and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpio card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. Honesty, guidance here is honesty and forgiveness. I feel it may be that maybe you've tried to have this conversation with this person and it was unsuccessful. It was never really, they could understand you and you could understand them. It's like you make those attempts, but it's never... I feel there is some, and what was also coming to my mind when I was reading that you tend to bury certain things and avoid certain things. This friendship has ended already. If this whole reading resonated, this is what I'm hearing. This friendship is dead. What's dead is dead. I'm seeing this is a different card in another oracle that I have. What's dead is dead. And I think the Reaper card mentioned it as well. This friendship is already dead. It already ended. And if you're going to prolong this process, you're going to rip yourself from the opportunity to have a beautiful closure with a conversation that can just mark a new chapter for you and this person. And you're going to push both of you to that tower situation. When something's going to happen, you're not going to even be able to say hi on the street to this person. Or maybe you're going to have regrets that certain things were left unsaid. Take action. When we take action, we choose how we're going to manage certain things. When we leave things from the universe, obviously universe, has infinite power, but universe cannot influence on our stubborn minds and stubborn personas, right? So sometimes they have to look for different means that end things in a more brutal way. So don't deprive yourself of this opportunity of a beautiful, soft, honest closure. Have that conversation. Sit down. Cry with this person. Say what you feel. Maybe you don't want to exactly remove them entirely from your life, but maybe you no longer resonate with talking on an everyday basis. Let them know how you feel when you spend time together, when you talk, that it no longer resonates with who you are, that you feel. And sometimes it's not about, and again, I love highlighting this to you guys, that life is not about who's behind and who's farther along, who's upper, who's superior. No, it's just that we're on a different levels of our spirals. It completely doesn't resonate. It makes no sense. It makes me feel worse about myself. It takes away motivation from me. So I don't want to maybe completely brutally remove you from my life, but please forgive me if I no longer resonate. If you will ever change your pace and change your ways, maybe we will meet each other in the same moment as well again, but not right now. Not right now. All right. We have, I'm not sure whether we're going to do tarot. I don't want to make another part. We have lovers, love, balance, harmony, right? Reciprocity. And also this card is as well about understanding that life is not the duality of life, the black and white. It's just an illusion, and we've discussed this before. But what these cards represent as well, whale with the shark beautifully together. A whale is about going deeper, right? I feel that this person somehow keeps you on a more shallow surface level of life. And perhaps there's a subconscious fear within you that when you drop this person, you're going to be left in an open ocean of depths, of your growth, of your spiritual self, of your emotions, of going deeper on your healing, on you, on completely new horizons. And maybe, whether you know it or not, subconsciously you're afraid of that. Shark is about truth, is about expressing your truth, is about when shark is out of balance, similarly to Scorpio, when you sort of hover around the truth, when you don't express it, even if it's not understood, it burdens you. I feel you're being guided to express your truth, whether in a conversation or in a letter, or in a voice note, whatever resonates, however your dynamics are. But I feel there's a need for you to have a conversation with this person to sort of explain that, you know, you've meant so much to me, we've been such great friends, and that will never... People, the tendency of the ego also puts us in this belief that if something ends, it means that it didn't have value. That is so far from the truth. Everything has an end in this physical world. Sometimes this end is the same moment as we expire, right? But everything will expire. Every relationship, everything. We live in chapters in this life, and the fact that we break up with someone or we end friendship, or it's every chapter, it's like an era, right? And sometimes things change without us even knowing. That our lifestyles, how we connect to someone sometimes changes. That person may stay, but you no longer connect on the same way. We live in chapters, and it's okay. Resisting change always keeps us blocked and stuck. You're being asked for truth towards yourself, towards this person. So again, you can voice that. You've been a beautiful part of my life, and I'm not blocking you away from my life. I'm not drastically removing it. I'm just saying that right now, in my heart, I feel that there's a growth for me, an expansion for me that is in no way represented in the dynamics that we have, in what we share, what we do together, what we talk about. I don't resonate with these things. I'm not interested in these things. So if you need me, I'm there, but not on a daily basis, because I cannot put you in that 80%, remember, of my energy on our conversations, right? If people really underestimate the power of having something in your life on a daily basis. It's there because you choose it. And peacock energy, when it's out of balance, because we were talking about shadows, it's about not being able to accept things the way they are. The peacock struggles with acceptance when it's out of balance. So just digest things, digest situations. This is what it is. It is what it is. There was a time when we were best buddies, and we had this hermetic almost relationship, kind of marriage, kind of relationship, and we were each other worlds, and we had our own language, but that time is no more. Change is part of growth and expansion. If you ever want to grow and expand and have more in life, change is inevitable. Change is a good thing, as long as you choose to go towards expansion. But this person is not choosing that thing right now. So you have to take a choice. What you want to resonate with more, it's that class energy. Do you want to repeat your class with this person just because of the sense of fake loyalty that is distorted understanding of loyalty? Or you want to graduate? You want to start a new cycle. I feel like I'm hearing that this is something that you need to close before the new year starts, which is February 17th. I hope this was helpful. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I'm sending you lots of love, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow, and I will post tomorrow that video about decluttering, so that may also be helpful for this collective.